What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back in here with a quick reaction video. Not really a reaction video. I came across this book the other day, The Secret of Power by Robert Collier. And I was trying to figure out when he published it, and I cannot find the exact date. But I know he was born in 1885 and passed away in the 1950s. But I wanted to play the intro of this book because it has some valuable information. And with this being Martin Luther King Day and the ridiculous amount of propaganda that we're going to see on TV today and on social media, I just wanted to share some information with my subscribers, and hopefully it travels far and wide. Everything is timeless on the internet, you know?
What is the strongest political trend in the world today? After the last war, it was towards democracy. But somehow democracy failed the average man. When the Depression came, and he found himself unable to provide food and shelter for his loved ones, he demanded something more than equality of opportunity. He demanded security from want.
And mind you, that you can find videos of Martin Luther King complaining about the Great Deal and how Black Americans were excluded out of that. And the Civil Rights Bill was supposed to, quote unquote, include all Americans into America's beautiful, prosperous life, aka security from the government.
To answer that demand came strongmen, so-called Mussolinis and Hitlers and Antonescus and Francos and the like, and fascism was born. Men achieved security of a kind, but they bartered their freedom for it. And soon they learned that power feeds on power, and the only end of dictatorship is war, which destroys all. And the reason, the same reason that has impelled man since time began, the longing for security, security for the home, security against want, security for old age. Since time began, the search for security has been one of the strongest urges in all of nature. You see it in the animal in the way it conceals its nest and tries to make it safe from predatory creatures, man or animal. You see it in the records of early man in the caves he dug into the sides of the mountains, in the tree huts, in the cliff dwellings. You follow it down through the ages to the walled cities, the turreted castles, the inaccessible mountains in which men made their homes. Throughout history, you see this search for security as one of the dominant characteristics of all humankind. And now that the common man has realized his power, you find him all over the world banding together to take over all property, to the end that he and his may find that security from want that he has so long worked for. What he does not seem to realize is that the mere redistribution of property never has and never will solve his problem.
Nope.
It will provide him with temporary supply, yes, but supply is a continuing problem, and when his small share of the general distribution is gone, he will be worse off than he was before, because production will have either ceased or been greatly curtailed. Redistribution is not the answer. It has been tried repeatedly and always failed. You must go farther back than that. You must start with the source of things. And that is what we shall try to do in the following pages. Know this, ye restless denizens of earth, know this, ye seekers after joy and mirth. Three things there are, eternal in their worth: love that outreaches to the humblest things, work that is glad in what it does and brings, and faith that soars upon unwearied wings. Divine the powers that on this tree await, supreme their conquest over time and fate. Love, work, and faith, these three alone are great.
Love, work, and faith. Now, everything that comes from our mainstream media is pushing hate 24/7, 365. If you don't believe it, go check the Shade Room right now, or go check CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, and it's someone throwing mud at someone else. Faith. 80% of Americans no longer believe in God, and if you don't have a vision for your future, well, the Bible says my people will perish from a lack of vision. So there you go with there. And work. How many people want to work in today's society? You know, my grandpa said that he was able to go get anything with his 2 hands and 2 feet that he wanted. And in today's society, so many people are oppressed and can't take care of themselves, and they need security from the government. And Earl Nightingale said the only place that a man can find security is inside himself. There's no such thing as job security, as government security. And if you look around, I think the masses of people have learned that. We don't hear about Manning Johnson too often ever in the public arena. And Manning Johnson spoke of the atrocities that would come with the civil rights movement and what would happen with this quote unquote false security. A lot of people don't know this, but the black poverty rate dropped from 87% to 47% from 1940s to 1960s, 4 years before the war on poverty began, 4 years before the original civil rights bill. And so you have to question and say, was the security really needed? And then you have to also ask, what freedoms did you trade off for this quote unquote security? See, I've learned to look at life and say the downside of history is that we don't have checks and balances. No one stops and looks back and say that part worked, that part didn't. Maybe we should re-examine that. It's just let's keep going with this victimhood Olympics. And on Martin Luther King Day, when the man said we should be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin, everything in 2023 is based around skin color and sexual orientation. And it's getting old. We see through the propaganda. We also see how it all fits under the same umbrella of communism, Marxism, socialism that's been warned about since the 70s from the KGB agents. And for some reason, the masses of people are still not getting it because they can put out a new rap song and rock you to sleep with the beat, not understanding that you're 70 to 80% water and what's happening to the insides of your body with the vibrations. And that's why I challenge everybody to stay to yourself, but also disconnect from this matrix. Drink water, take vitamins, read books. All of the books I read are really before the internet was out, when people had to really sit there and just think and cause and effect. James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, is one of the greatest books ever. Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson is a fantastic book. In Tune with the Infinite by Ralph Waldo Trine. There's so much knowledge out here in this world, and you can go look at the OJs and Isley Brothers and the Jackson 5. We're not trappers and rappers and shooters, but somehow media has made a factory of young men, and they're just coming out the same way. Gangster dreadheads. And I'm not no better because in my generation, I was in the factory as well, copying Lil Wayne, copying Trey Songz. But my brain has been enlightened a little bit, and I look around and see, man, they were setting us up for destruction, for failure. And somehow I was the rose who grew from the concrete. But I'm grateful for all the Section 8 days, the days that we didn't have lights, the days that we didn't have gas, the days that we didn't have water. But I had my mom and my dad. So what that taught me is if you got family, you can overcome anything. But in today's materialistic society, when people have more cars, more jewelry, take more vacations, have the prettiest pictures, they the saddest and broken as ever. Everybody has anxiety or depression. 70% of Americans are overweight. And they all come from a better environment than what I did. And I look around and say, this material things ain't what give you happiness. It's pure peace, pure love, pure joy on the inside of you. So I ask you, how do you feel about yourself? When you look in the mirror, when you're at home by yourself, not when you're out in a crowd of people, but when it's just you at home, are you proud of yourself? Do you love yourself? See, it'd be really easy for me to sit on the internet right now and say, damn, she thick, or modern women in this, or men that. But it's like, at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. I tell all my children, even in a room full of 1 million people, you just by yourself. What are you projecting to the world? What side of yourself are you truly showing? How authentic are you being? Because your art will outlive you. And we've been tricked into thinking to be a public figure, we have to put on a character for the masses of people to like us. That I got to call myself Young Savage or Baby Chopper or something. I don't know. This is my government name that my mother and father gave me. And this is my true personality. And I'm proud of the person that I really am. My ups, my downs, my goods, my bads. And I want to inspire and encourage everybody to be that same way. In this fake world, at least be a real soul. Because you know what I know, man. Your skin color don't have nothing to do with how far you can go in life, what you can accomplish, what your dreams are, what your goals are. The masses of people really never see you anyway. They see this body, but they never see the spirit that's inside of the body. And I could run with the narrative that's in the world. I'm oppressed, I'm a victim, and the white man is holding me back. But I just want to inspire people. It's kids in homeless shelters right now, black and white children, Never met their mom or their dad. And them little black kids are looking at the world like, damn, this is my reality. It's white kids just, damn, this is my reality. You got kids now questioning their sexuality. And let's not forget the kids in China and India and Russia and North Korea. Just trying to figure out this thing called life. But us adults, we do a good job at dividing kids, playing the Hunger Games with them. And that's why I think we have to value parenting more, because it starts with men. God, man, woman, children. And if you lead by example, children will naturally follow you. If you're a dope man, you naturally going to have women wanting to be on your program and be around you. But I can say for myself, when I became a father, I sacrificed my selfishness, my needs, my wants, so I can make sure my children become better versions of me. Raise them in better environments, feed them higher quality food, get them better schooling. And we need more parents to stop being dependent on the government and look at your child and say, this is my responsibility. No matter the situation you had him in, no matter how old you was, I was 20 years old when I jumped off the porch and became a daddy. So what? That's not my daughter's fault. That's on me to be accountable for my choices, for my actions. And I think if we have more people being responsible for themselves, then our world slowly improves. And I'm not saying it'll improve tomorrow, because life is like a swimming pool, right? If somebody pisses in the pool, they got to shut the park down for a day or two to clean the pool out. And that's your life. That's your relationship with God. If you've been walking on this negative path for year in, year out, do you think by tomorrow you about to just wake up to the biggest blessing ever? No. But you can start that path. It's never too late to get right with Christ. It's never too late to walk on the path of righteousness to improve yourself. Because we all meant to have a happy, healthy, wealthy, beautiful, abundant life. But if you're consuming negative information and negative material 24/7, what do you think your mindset is going to be based around? What type of mood do you wake up in? And then couple that with you eating fast food and drinking soda. Do you really think that you're a healthy version of yourself? Look back at the Greek gods and the Greek warriors and see how all those men were just ripped. It's a shame that more men don't value the way they walk around. Before you leave this earth, you should want to see how nice you can make your body. And not for the benefit of having women, but for yourself. Because health is wealth. And if you got $200 million in the bank, but you can't get out the bed, who's winning? Not you. And so if you really want to, stick it to the man or stick it to the government, be a rebel. Raise your kids. Drink water, take vitamins, be healthy, be self-sustainable. But don't be someone that's just sitting around complaining about society. This is the greatest time to be alive right now. The future is bright. I can sit in my basement in front of a computer and talk to millions of people around the world. Why would I ever say I'm oppressed? Why would I ever say that I'm held back? And no matter where you are, you can walk forward. As Les Brown says, if you fall down, at least fall on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And if your eyes are open right now, if you happen to be able to watch this video and we align on the same frequency, don't listen to the critics. Ignore the doubts. You could do anything. You can accomplish anything. There's greatness purely inside of you, but you got to believe it. And I like to say there's no faith needed around you when there's unlimited faith within you. But many people don't believe in themselves. And I understand that as well, because the minute you wake up, if you look at your cell phone, it's something negative. The minute you step outside your front door, it's something negative. The minute you walk in your job and when you with your coworkers, it's something negative. So I get it, but you got to be able to coach your mind in a state of gratitude. Walk around and see abundance. Walk around and see blessings. Because as I've evolved in this thing called life, which life is all about evolving anyway, you understand that the inner affects the outer. But I have the power to control my inner. And that's like the dopest part about life that everyone has to learn on their own. Because I don't have to let your thoughts, your mood, your feelings, none of that has to touch me. I'm bubble boy in this thing. And I have to purely move in love if that's what I want to receive. I can't let what you giving me dictate me. Most people say, I'm going to return the same energy they give me. Why? So if somebody throws some dirt on you, you going to just lay in the dirt? Nah, I'm not fighting fire with fire because we're too mature for that. And we understand life is all about evolving. So if you meet somebody that's not on your level yet, that's cool. Maybe you Raichu already and they still Pikachu and they don't want to evolve. Maybe they just a Snorlax over there. But at some point, humans have to look at what's coming from the radio, from the media, and say, this ain't the right way to live. This isn't helping me. This is hurting me. This is destroying my life. And I challenge everybody to read. All the books I read are before the 1950s, when you had to sit there and think once again. And you can go either further back than that and get into Marcus Aurelius and all them, Plato, Friedrich Nietzsche. Expand your mind, because your mind is a garden. And every day you wake up, you have a choice to put some more beautiful seeds in that garden that could grow up to be, man, the most amazing, abundant flowers ever. Or you could just let trash and litter and garbage and alcohol and toxins just sit inside your brain every day. The choice is yours. But I just say there's too much information available in 2023 for anybody to still be following the mainstream narrative that you can't be this because of your skin color, or that you're oppressed, that you're a victim, or that you're less than. Disconnect from those false labels. Why would you even want to allow anybody to put you in a box? And why would you blindly follow what someone else says about you? Yeah, you can't do this. You're black. Or you're white. White supremacist. You're a woman. You suck. Just go over there. Hey, you should question your gender. No, that's why I say you got to have faith in God, a higher power, because this world wants you broken. That's why they want fathers out the home. They want your mama at work. So you were raised all day by an internet device. And while artificial intelligence is moving faster than ever and technology is moving faster than ever, one thing that cannot be replicated is love. Is a real human connection, right? Like, you can feel my energy through these videos and understand what I'm saying is real. And there's a lot of kids that got millions of friends online and don't have 5 friends in real life that just sit down and talk to talk about their problems, to get a hug, to go to the park and throw the football around and shoot jumpers, you know what I mean? And that's what's missing in society. Some of my best memories from being a kid was playing Heads Up, 7 Up, playing kickball, Duck, Duck, Goose, not worried about who was black or who was white or who was gay. You know what I'm saying? All those things were extremely irrelevant. And I just hope we can get back to a point in society where we can look at those things as irrelevant and protect our children. Everyone can become better parents. We can look out for our grandparents a little better, just to get to a society where we start caring about each other and not being so selfish. Because right now we have an extremely selfish, materialistic society. And I've said time and time again, everything that really matters is free. To be able to walk in the door, your kids give you a hug, to sit on the couch and watch your favorite TV show, to laugh, to joke, to smile, to stretch. Because you can have 10 cars, 10 houses, a bunch of money. If you don't have anybody that loves you purely for who you are, you're lonely and you're lost in this world. And look at social media right now. We got a bunch of lost, lonely souls. The prettiest women ever. No man, no children. Some of the most successful men ever. Going into this big old house with these 20 fancy cars by themselves. They got a bunch of women around, but the women don't really care, value them. You lose the money, you lose the women too. So if you're lucky enough to find somebody in this thing called life that purely loves you and cares about you, consider yourself blessed. And look back and understand that your mom and dad, they love you. Whether they did the best at showing it or not, they did the best they could with the information they had. And once you learn to do better, you do better in your future life. You can't judge them for your past. The key to pure happiness is forgiving your parents and embracing the future that God has in store for you. If you can learn to do that, man, life would be great. Don't sit around sad. Don't sit around broken, because the future is bright. Once again, anything the mind can believe and conceive, it can achieve. So what do you think about? Write the vision down and make it plain. Because what you want out here, it definitely wants you as well. And, it's all fun and games to laugh and joke, but everyone is a real person at the end of the day. And society doesn't make room for the realness in us. It just wants to keep you angry or upset, because the more emotional you are, the more products you'll buy to keep you a consumer. I want you to get in touch with you and figure out who you are, because we all have a gift to give to this world. Everyone needs to be uplifted or motivated or inspired or encouraged in some way, shape, or form. Let's use our human power to be the change we wish to see. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Be the change you wish to see in this world. Understand that there is no external security. All security comes from within. And when there's faith within you, everything gets better. Everything gets beautiful, because God wants that for you. But if you don't believe in yourself, how can the world believe in you? So sit down and get right with Christ. And once that Christ spirit starts moving through you, look here, man, look here, look here. When I say the future gets better and better, the sun shines brighter and brighter. The rainy days ain't so bad. Everything just keeps going and keeps flourishing. So don't let this little dark cloud where we are in the world right now affect you. And whether you watch this video 5 years, 20 years, 15 years, 20 years, because art lives forever. Make sure the art that you decide to put out to the world is positive, that it's uplifting, that it's motivating, that it's inspiring. Because I could sit here and put out a 30 minutes straight of negative energy, and then 100 years after I'm gone, my negative energy is still affecting the world. I got kids looking up to me wanting to copy the negative side of me and not the positive side of me. I can't get with that. And I think a lot of individuals aren't conscious enough to see that their art lives forever, and all you are is art. So put out something that's going to leave a positive representation of you and your community. I'm out. Enjoy the video. Have a great, make an awesome life. Ignore the critics, ignore the doubters. Do anything that you want. Lights zone, it's time to shine. Ball out. Keep evolving.